they're definitely like, what the heck is going on? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Ox here with another video. If you're new to the channel, we do upload Pokemon Go content mostly related to PvP, and if you're a returning subscriber like ORC, thank you for the support. In today's video, we're taking a look at the Master League Classic, showcasing the team that I did use to reach Legend rank about 4 weeks ago now when Master League was available for the first time this season. It is a very strong team, utilizing Groudon in the lead with Dialga and Togekiss in the back. So this team sort of operates in an ABB style, with Dialga and Togekiss both being very weak to Melmetal, and then Groudon having a very dominant matchup against the Melmetal. You want to try and lure out the Melmetal with the Dialga safe switch. The end goal is to have Togekiss sweep the end game, preferably with a shield advantage. A lot of times, once the Melmetal is gone, there isn't another second counter for the Togekiss. So that's sort of what you're banking on with this team. Of course, there are going to be a couple of difficult leads, and other Pokemon that operate as safe swaps, such as Ho-Oh or Lugia, for example, could be a bit problematic, but we'll take a look at some of those battles in this video. If you guys would like a more in-depth analysis on this team, as well as just watching some more battles, I will put a link up here to the video in which I reached Legend rank for Season 8 using this team. With that said, we will be taking a look at one set of battles here in which we lose a lot of leads. It is a very solid team, pretty simple to learn as well, so I think the learning curve isn't too hard for players that do have these Pokemon accessible to them. If you guys enjoy this type of content, please make sure you smash that like button, it really helps the channel grow. Leave a comment in the comment section down below, and without any further ado, let's jump into the first battle right now. Alright, so let's hop into these battles right here, and if you're asking about the avatar, the clothing, the no pose, I felt a little washed up after Ultra League tanking so much, so I decided to take all that off, get back to the basics. We got Groudon into Giratina Origin right here, a pretty awful lead for Groudon, but we have two solid answers for it in the back. So we safe switch into the Dialga here, of course, trying to lure out the Melmetal. Instead, we see an Excadrill, which is one of the worst hard counters you could see for Dialga right here, so not really much we could do. Usually you won't get to Draco Meteor, but right here, I was looking at my health, I was like, you know what, I don't know if they undercharged or something, but let me see if I can get to Draco Meteor. And we actually were able to get it. And they might not be expecting this right now. So you know what that means? I thought they were going to shield. They didn't shield that up. So they're definitely like, what the heck is going on? They just lost the 0 shields against a Dialga. So we take switch advantage, which is great, obviously, because now we get to come in with Togekiss here. And the opponent, of course, they don't want the smoke. So they're going to back on out of that match. That was really lucky, of course, because Dialga should not be reaching the Draco Meteor there. They might have undercharged the Drill Run maybe, or maybe they swapped out a bit too late, which gave me extra farm. Not sure, but guess what? Another horrible lead here in the form of Kyogre. So we're going to swap out into Dialga, try and do the same thing once again. And the opponent was staying in here, so I was wondering, are they going to try and go for Blizzard or something? Obviously here they're not, because they threw too early. This has to be a Surf. But then I realized that they're just trying to do some chip damage here, and they come in with their own Dialga. And what I noticed is that their Dialga, look at the CP, it's actually not a very strong Dialga, so it probably either is not best buddied or they don't have 15 attack. So that's why they wanted to do the extra chip damage there. We do get the shield. I went for the Iron Head bait, which is a very risky play. Going for Draco Meteor is safer, but I wanted to get a bit more of that Dragon Breath damage without the debuff. So a risky play, probably not worth going for it, but I did let it go down. Now I come with the Groudon. Actually gets this Earthquake before they throw another move, so that's really good because now we get to preserve a shield advantage. They come in with Kyogre. We're going to come with Togekiss, and basically this is really good because at this point with the Kyogre lead, Dialga safe switch, I'm anticipating possibly a Giratina altered in the back because that's a very common line for the Master League, and Togekiss with a shield advantage could actually beat Kyogre here. And as you see, it is actually a Giratina altered in the back. So I wanted to use my shield there against the Kyogre, of course, in order to preserve some health on this Togekiss here because it's going to be dealing a lot of damage to the Giratina, as you can see. And now we will shield this up as well. We'll probably get farmed down before they get to the move, but going to throw the Ancient Power here. I want to get this last shield just to make this matchup easier. The Kyogre in the back has pretty much no health left, so the Groudon should be fine here. I'm going to swap out here and look to get off a Fire Punch against this Giratina. But even if they swap out to Kyogre now, it's pretty much GG's because the Kyogre has, I think, like 1 HP. It shouldn't be at a move right now, so Groudon should be fine here. Fire Punch comes through, actually does not knock out the Giratina. Kyogre comes back in, does get off a Waterfall, but one Mud Shot's enough. The opponent backs out of the match, and we're off to a 2-0 start against two very difficult leads here in our first battles for the Master League Classic making its return. Going up against the legend right here, we got Groudon into another horrible lead in Giratina Origin. So it's horrible lead for Groudon, but not the worst lead for this specific team comp. Swap out into the Dialga here, and once again, the opponent is staying in. So probably going to go for the Shadow Ball right here. I really don't care to shield this point because the main play with this team is to try and preserve these shields for the Togekiss. So gonna go for the Draco Meteor here. You know, sometimes the Groudon will not like to shield this. And if they don't, they're gonna get knocked out, but they do shield it. It still hurts, but it's not going to KO. Draco Meteor definitely would KO. And now we have the switch clocks are a bit desynced, right? So I come in here with the Togekiss. They're pretty much locked into this matchup. And this Groudon is actually running Dragon Tail, looks like. So that's actually a very dominant matchup for Togekiss here. So we sneak in the extra charm there. I don't want to shield anything unless I have to. So the next Fire Punch probably is going to KO. So at this point, we do have to consider shielding. And we are here. So we're going to have a Flamethrower ready to go. And we'll see what the opponent wants to do when they come back in here. Going to come in with a Melmetal. So I'm going to throw this Flamethrower right here. It's going to be dealing super effective damage to the Melmetal. And they let it go through. Now I swap out into the Groudon here, of course. And this should be CMP ties. So even if they throw a Superpower here, Fire Punch actually would threaten to KO now. And for some reason it wasn't CMP ties, so that's a bit unfortunate, but that allows us to get to this Earthquake here. I think going straight Earthquake is the play here. We still have the Togekiss in the back, but letting that go through, huge for us right there. If they did shield that, then it would become a baiting game between Shadow Ball, Omnis Win. We probably would have outpaced the Earthquake anyways, but tricky spot there. We managed to pull off that win against another difficult lead. Off to a 3-0 start here. Groudon into a Melmetal, so finally we see a positive lead right here in the form of a Melmetal. And the opponent's staying in, they swap out into Ho-Oh. And I actually decide to throw the Earthquake here. I want to do some chip damage on this because as you can see, we don't have a great answer for Ho-Oh. Dialga can win this matchup, but it's not the most comfortable win for Dialga. You pretty much need to invest shields. So felt like getting off that Earthquake there definitely makes this matchup a bit more manageable for the Dialga here. So we're gonna throw the Iron Head here. They pretty much have to shield if they want to throw another move, which they decide not to. So they're going to take the shield advantage, probably come back in here with the Melmetal. And of course, Groudon has such a dominant match against Melmetal here that as long as we maintain this alignment, we should be okay. So Superpower comes through. That's going to knock out the Dialga right here. And we're going to come in with the Groudon, sorry. So notice I swapped out a bit too late, and that meant that I couldn't switch out into the Togekiss here, so switch time is desynced. I need to get the shield here, so I actually go for the bait, which is definitely a risky play, but they do end up shielding. And now because we're even on shields, we're in a very dominant position. These switch timers are desynced though, so I want to ensure that my Togekiss does not allow this Giratina to get out of this matchup. If I was the opponent, I'd probably be looking to just spam Omnis Wins at this point to take up the switch timer and bring the Melmetal as soon as possible. But it's probably a possibility that they are running Dragon Pulse as well. So Melmetal comes back in. Now that we got rid of that Giratina, this should be a GG. Going for the Flamethrower right here, they let that go through, saving that shield for the Groudon. But you know what that means. Charm, gonna take out the Melmetal. Togekiss, a Melmetal counter, confirmed. We take that game. Hopping into the 5th battle of this set. Looking for a perfect 5-0 start to the Master League right here. And we are leading Groudon into a Kyogre. So another horrible lead. We saw 4 awful leads here with Groudon. And if anything tells you maybe today is not the day to be leading Groudon because it's looking pretty rough right here. And once again, we see a Dialga come in here. And this is a Dialga that is not best buddies. So that means we're doing more Dragon Breath damage here than the opponent. I believe we're doing 5 per turn, whereas the opponent's only doing 4. And you can see here, they're actually lower in health than us already. So that's why having a best buddy Dialga is very important. And look, they're already in the red. And here's where I make a mistake. I thought I could farm down. I got too greedy, and now I have to burn the second shield. Huge mistake right here. And this could end up costing me the game because it's very risky to leave a Togekiss in the back without shields. I could have easily took switch there, or I could have just got the second shield. Maybe they would have thought they could win switch. They shield and they still end up losing. A lot of different things could have happened there, but we picked the worst way to go about it. Kyogre comes in. It's going to farm us down, which is not good. Gonna come in with the Togekiss right here. And things are not looking too great. At this point, I was thinking that the only real play here is to hope that they have a Giratina in the back, and maybe even Groudon could take care of that. So we're gonna stay in here. The Kyogre is going to take us out, which is not too great, but they are low enough where they are in Fire Punch range. So I come in with the Groudon here. And this is where I make a mistake. I throw the Fire Punch immediately. They're still 2 away from the Surf, so that was a huge mistake, and they actually have a Zekrom in the back. So if I held off from throwing here, I could have saved that energy, got to the Earthquake. The Earthquake would have been enough to take out the Zekrom, but I would have been able to overfarm past the Earthquake, have that Fire Punch still ready for the Kyogre, which would have won us the game. Instead, I can't afford to overfarm there because the Zekrom would get to a move which would take us out, and now the Kyogre gets the extra waterfall through. Surf's going to take us out. We end up throwing that game. Could have went 5-0 against 4 very bad leads, but we'll take the 4-1. Still a very solid start to the Master League Classic right here. So those were the battles in the Master League Classic, featuring a very solid team that did help me to reach Legend rank in Season 8 of Go Battle League. If you want to check out that video, once again, there is a link to it right up here. I would definitely recommend this team to anyone looking for a new Master League Classic team, trying to make that final push to Legend rank. I think this is definitely a team that could help you get there. If you guys have any questions regarding this team, leave them in the comment section down below. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. If you guys enjoyed this type of video, please consider leaving a like, commenting, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.